Welcome, everybody. My name is Nick Larson.
I'm Kayla Larson.
And I want to welcome you to the School of Potential. We're super excited to be here with you. And if you're new to the group, we're so excited that you're here with us. And if you've been with us for a while, welcome back. We're going to be going through some really great videos over the next little while. This month, we're really focusing on this idea of thriving, becoming all that you're meant to become. And today, specifically, we want to talk about the difference between coping and thriving. And I want you, as we go through this, I want you to put yourself in the situations that we're describing. Or if you're a teacher or you're a youth worker or you're a parent, I want you to put your mindset maybe in the mind of your child or your students. And I want you to really think about how you can apply what we're sharing with you today to your life and to your students' lives. And so, first of all, I want to take you back to a time in my life where I didn't even believe that it was possible for me to thrive in the way that I am today. And I think I've got so much more to go, but I've come so far from where I once was, from a place where honestly, I could not even get out of bed because of the severe anxiety, the anxiety attacks, and passing out from it, to the point where I just was not able to even function. And, maybe you've been in a place like that, but maybe you're also in this place where you're just kind of in that kind of like mundane, habitual way of living. It's kind of like this flat line where things are okay, but they're not great, but you don't really see how things could get a lot better, but you hope and you wish that there could be more, right? And so I want to share with you, when I originally started out doing substitute teaching, many of you know, so I have a background in education. And I remember lying in my bed and waking up before the alarm would go off that I had set. And maybe you've been there before. You wake up before the alarm goes off, and I would immediately, the heart starts racing, and I would immediately go into a full-blown anxiety attack because I was plugging into basically my past memory of what happened the day before and going, I had an anxiety attack yesterday, I'm going to go through it again today, right? And your body just goes right into this natural state and feeling so anxious, and not realizing that I could thrive in life. And you get the call from the school board saying, hey, we've got a substitute position for you. Do you want to come in? Do you want it? And of course, I would kind of like regrettingly say, yeah, I'll take it, right? And then I would hang up the phone and immediately full-blown anxiety attack, and I would be shaking, I'd be anxious, sometimes I would be ill to my stomach. It was not a fun time. And thank God I had support systems in place and the people around me to support me during this time. But ultimately, you couldn't help me.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, as a parent or a youth worker, it can be difficult because you see someone going through some turmoil, but you might not necessarily know the way to help them. And it's not fun for you either, seeing them not thriving.
Yeah, exactly. You can support me and you can guide me, but ultimately I had to figure out how to thrive myself, and I had to take certain actions. It's not always easy. There are simple steps. But of course, when you get surrounded by other people who can support you, it becomes a lot easier. And we're going to chat about that today. And, so I want you to really think about this idea between coping and thriving, and ask yourself kind of maybe where you are. And if you're on the place of just coping, that's okay. If you're somewhere in between, that's okay too. And if you're in the place of thriving, well, that's great. And so we're going to go through this difference here. So let's chat about coping, and then we'll compare it to thriving. So coping is really this, I always tell people, I don't want you to cope. And so what we teach here is not coping skills, but thriving skills, because I want you to thrive in life. I want you to be more than better, more than just maintaining, right? And staying where you are. We hear a lot of people say, I like it just the way it is. And the truth is, they're comfortable with the way it is. I was comfortable sitting in my bedroom, not going outside, not going to school, not taking action, not doing this, not doing that. But I was not happy with the way that my life was going. In fact, I was miserable. It was not a fun time, but I was comfortable. And I kind of said, I just like it the way it is. I'll just stay here, right? And so coping has a lot to do with just like maintaining the balance, maintaining things as they are. And the other side, thriving, thriving gives you energy because you have desire, right? We all know that when you have a desire, it's like an expression of energy and you're moving. And all of a sudden you kind of like forget about all of your worries and your doubts and insecurities because you tapped into a desire and you're thriving, you're moving, right? So maintaining versus energy and thriving. Next, we have coping as a way to just deal with the difficulties, right? For me, it was there's difficulties. I can't even feel like I can go to work or go out in public. And how can I just manage those? How can I just deal with it? But on the side of thriving, we raise to the next level. We overcome those challenges. We see the potential for growth rather than just a difficulty. And how am I going to just deal with it, right? Thriving allows you to rise beyond that. Another one on the side of coping is just barely getting by, right? You go through work, you're wishing and hoping, you're just waiting for the day to end. Mm-hmm. And I know you were there many times too.
Mm-hmm. Just like going through and just waiting to the very end of the day to go, finally I made it, and then to wake up and experience it all over again.
Do it all over, yeah. So that's just barely getting by. But on the side of thriving, we're truly enjoying the fullness of life, the vitality of life, the ups and the downs, and we're taking all of it in, right? Not just getting by.
I think something to add here, and it relates to what you said, which I think is so valuable, but like coping is really like hope. You're hoping and wishing something's going to change, but thriving, you have faith. You're believing that you're a part of a process and you're taking action steps to change, to embrace the person you intend to become.
Exactly, right? We talked about this before, this idea of faith and belief. And I think it's such an important topic because we hear that a lot. We hear that, have faith in yourself, have belief in yourself. And I remember hearing that and going, yeah, but I don't have belief in myself. How do I believe? How do I have faith when everything around me is saying otherwise? Now, we've got a great definition of faith that we came across that really altered the way that we look at things.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to share that with everybody.
Yeah, I love this definition, and you might even want to write this down. But faith is your ability to see in the invisible, to believe in the incredible, and that'll permit you to receive what the masses call impossible. Linking it back to you, you could not see yourself as a confident person when you were, experiencing that amount of anxiety and barely making it through. But you began to build the image of the good you desired on the screen of your mind over and over again with repetition until you started to believe it is possible for me to change. It is possible for me to thrive. And the truth is, if Nick can do it and if I can do it, it's pure positive proof that you can do it too. Because even though, we're unique and special, there's something unique about you.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so you want to begin to alter those belief systems, and you start to alter your belief systems when you reevaluate things. I have to say, start poking holes in your negative belief systems. Poke holes in them. Ask yourself, is this 100% true? That, for me, I said, I am anxiety. I am an anxious person. And it was period. That is just who I am. I said, well, is that 100% true? Well, no, I'm not always anxious. So it's not 100% true. Start poking holes in that. As you begin to reevaluate what you believe, through the reevaluation, you're going to find out that there's many more beliefs that you can adopt. And as you start to adopt new beliefs, you start to loosen the soil of the old beliefs and replace it with the new one. And then you move on from there, right? So really begin to surround yourself with these ideas of, hey, what do I want to believe? And that's going to allow you to start to move and shift the scales from coping to thriving, right? So on the other side here, on the side of coping, we often feel like life is just this routine and it's kind of boring. It's this mundane routine that we go, every day is the same. You've heard it, it's the rat race. It's this cycle. It's this over and over again, the cycle of struggle, the cycle of negative thinking, whatever it is, we just kind of get stuck in that. And just like, this heart monitor, we may have heard this before, where, when you're seeing the monitor of your heart, it goes up, it goes down, it goes, right? Life's kind of like that too. We've got good times, we've got bad times. And for the people who say, I just like it to just stay the way it is, the flat line, well, we all know that when we're looking at a heart monitor, that's not a good sign, right? We don't want that. We don't want to just maintain. I don't want you to just cope with life. I want you to thrive with life. And that means taking the good time and the bad times and understanding that we are beings of wide ranges of emotions. And here's the truth is that you and I were actually designed, literally designed to have negative emotions. Get this, to allow you to reevaluate. The negative emotions in your life tell you what you don't want. And as you know what you don't want,
you can define what you do want.
Exactly, right? And so it allows you to look at your life and go, I don't want that. And then it allows you to set goals and aims and objectives in the direction of the things that you truly desire that are connected in with your heart, your inner values, the things that you value most in life, and begin moving in the direction towards that. It's not so much about destination as it is progression, right? Momentum.
And I think that's really valuable what you pointed out and how to evaluate where you're at. Because if you're coping, you're in a routine, you're in a rut, you're in a cycle. But if you're thriving, there's creativity in your life, there's flexibility, and every day is a unique and new day. And you really enjoy that and you use it to its full potential.
Exactly. So we've got routine, boring, mundane on this side. And on this side, we've got vibrant, exciting experience, right? That feels a lot better, up and down, and so much more to it, right? And on the side of coping, again, we have times where we see problems as obstacles, and sometimes not even as hurdles or obstacles, but total roadblocks, right? Like stop dead in your tracks and you can't even see how you can progress forward. And people just say, well, I'd like to get there. And then they'll say, but I'm comfortable here. I'm okay. But truly, we all know inside you have those feelings. You go, I would really like to be over there. But because it's comfortable here and that scares me, I'm just going to stay here. I'm going to keep thinking what I think and stay where I am. And we all know that, of course, if we keep doing what we're doing, we keep getting what we're getting, right? And we want to begin to shift things up and change things up and take new action. And that's going to create new results for ourselves, right? And so on the other side, on the thriving, we begin to see problems not as obstacles or roadblocks, but as opportunities. Opportunities for what?
Growth.
For growth. Because when you set the goal to become a thriving individual, remember, nothing's going to happen until you decide it's going to happen. And when you attach the decision to a goal and to action, you are deciding, you're putting it out there into the universe and you're saying, this is going to happen for me, rather than just saying, I wish this could happen. I wish, I hope it could happen. No, you're saying, I decide that this is going to happen. The life you really want to live, it doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you decide it's going to happen. And then the next step is you got to prepare your mind for it to take place, for it to be manifest in your physical reality, right? And that's going to allow you to tap into your mind and shift from the side of coping, which is this idea of a scarcity mindset, lack and limitation. There's not enough. I'm not good enough. The list goes on. And we want to tip the scales. We want to come onto the side of abundance, to realize that you've got deep reservoirs of infinite potential within you, right? And you've got more than enough to give, and you can develop so much of yourself to a degree that you didn't even think was possible. Now, I don't share any of my experience and share with you where we are today to impress you. I share rather to impress upon you that if I can do it, you can do it. Because no way in a million years, if you would have asked myself a couple of years ago, if I would have been up on a live video or even up on stage sharing my story of anxiety, was said not a chance, not a chance. But today, I actually thrive on it. Like I love getting on a video or getting on the phone or talking to people, sharing my story, and especially listening to theirs, listening to them so that we can allow them to move from the coping to the thriving skills.
And I think it's just such a beautiful process, really, transitioning from coping to thriving.
Oh, it is, right? And it's this continual unfoldment. Now, we don't want to force it, because just like the rose, if you force the unfoldment of a rose, it dies. If you force the unfoldment and the opening of a cocoon, the butterfly dies, right? And so you just want to allow. You want to allow, and life is going to unfold right before your eyes, and you'll never see a petal move, right? It just unfolds. And that's where we have the look back in retrospect, and we say, wow, have I ever changed? But sometimes through the process of going from this place to this place, you think to yourself, nothing's changing. I feel like it's taking forever. And am I ever going to get there? And then one day you wake up and you go, wow, I'm here, right?
I always like to relate this to nature, because nature is constantly growing. Think of a tree. It doesn't say, I grew enough yesterday, I'm not going to grow anymore today. No, it's constantly growing up and expanding who it is, and it's thriving, because there's a law of the universe that states we're either thriving, we're creating, or we're disintegrating. If we're staying where we are, we're not moving forwards towards our goals, our dreams, and our aspirations. And that results in us to just be coping.
Exactly. You've got wants, you've got desires inside of you that are wanting to express themselves. That's what it is. It's the essence of you. It's a spiritual side of you that wants to express itself in a much fuller way through the only way that it can. The non-physical must always express itself through its polar opposite, which is the physical, right? You've got ideas, you've got wants, you've got desires that come from the inside, and you got to express them on the outside, right? And express that with the world. You've got so much to share. You are so unique. Share that with the world. And so how do we move now? We understand the difference, and you may kind of see or relate yourself to, maybe I'm coping right now, maybe I'm somewhere in between, maybe I'm over here. Well, how do we really tip the scales? And we're going to share here 3 things that I think are so crucial for you to start to implement that are going to allow you to really tip the scales from coping to thriving. Number 1, and write these down as you go. Number 1 is begin and commit to the study of you. The study of you, right? That's truly the only thing that we ever have to improve upon and study is ourselves. Because as you bring more of you to the surface, and as you become more aware of the infinite potential that lies within you, you bring that to the surface. And it improves not only your personal life, your professional life, your family life, your relationships, your finances, your health, every aspect of your life is improved when you study you, right? Because you're bringing more of you to the game, more of you to the surface, and it's just going to spread through everything. Everything's connected, right? So a win in one area is truly a win in all areas.
And maybe you're a parent or you're a teacher. Know that you have to study you to support your children, your students, in understanding who they are and what they're capable of. As you uncover your gifts and increase your awareness of your passions and purposes, your youth and your kids, they're going to follow you by what you're showing and by what you're doing.
Absolutely. Right? Become that example. Show by results that you know what you're talking about, that you are implementing these strategies for yourself. Beautiful. So number 2 then is to surround yourself with others who are thriving. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you're in this place right now where you're simply coping with things, you're thinking, I don't want to talk to people like that. Because I was there. I was there, stuck in the bedroom, stuck in my little hole, and thinking, I just want to stay here. I'm comfortable here. I don't want to ask anybody how they're doing that, or how they're so confident, or this. I don't want to surround myself with those people because I felt threatened. I felt less than. But what I found is that when I actually became vulnerable, I opened myself up and I took one step closer and I started to just ask for help. I realized that the people who I viewed as way up there, who I viewed as better than me, I realized how humble they were and how willing they were to support me and to help me and to share what they have learned through their experiences in becoming confident, let's say, or becoming a thriving individual. And as soon as I started getting around those people, I mean, my feelings about myself, my vibration went through the roof. And I could feel gradually my confidence really coming back that I felt maybe when I was a really young child, where it's just, we're all really confident when we're young kind of thing. And so I felt that coming back because I was surrounded by other people. And we hear you become the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most. And so we hear this old saying where relation to say money. If you hang around four broke people, you become the fifth, right? But the same is true when you hang around four thriving individuals who understand how their mind works, who understands their infinite potential within them. All of these people are overflowing with an abundance of thriving skills and understanding, and it all flows into you. You become the average, right? You become the fifth.
I'd like to give you now an image to work with this. Maybe you're going to share this with your youth or your students. But imagine a cup, and let's put this much water in the cup. It has the potential to be full, but let's start with this much water. Maybe if the cup is full, you're thriving, and if it's less than half, you're just coping. Now, can you imagine if this cup was surrounded by four other cups that were completely full of water? These people are completely thriving. Well, as they continue to grow and go through their day and their process and their journey, their water in their cup is going to continue to overflow. And where is it going to overflow? Into that cup that's in the center that maybe isn't quite full yet. But over the days and over the weeks and over the months, it's going to continually expand and fill until one day you will wake up and realize, I'm not coping anymore. I'm now thriving. And you can become that full cup and continue to share and grow with other people in your community. And that's really the name of the game here.
Exactly, right? We should always, I think, be kind of the middle person. As, if you can imagine a mountain, you're climbing up the mountain, and, we're mentors ourselves. We mentor youth, we mentor individuals, but we're always being mentored ourselves. We don't have it all figured out. We're always learning, and we're taking the knowledge and the information and the application, and we're sharing it with individuals who maybe need a helping hand. And so we're supporting them, we're pulling them up with it, but at the same time, our mentors are helping us to increase in our awareness and our understanding. And we should always be that middle person, right? Always supporting others who maybe feel that they're just starting the journey up the mountain, but then always allowing ourselves to be humble and learn and understand that there is an infinite amount of knowledge. And as your circle of knowledge expands, so does the circumference of your ignorance. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know, right? And it just really keeps you humble and realize there's so much to me. I have so much potential inside, and I've got so much to share, so much to learn, and I'm excited to learn more, right? So number 3 is I want you to begin to make new experiences a priority in your life, because no amount of reading and memorizing is going to produce the results that you want. Knowledge is power, but an even truer statement is that knowledge is only potential power. It's what you do with it that's going to make the difference. And as you take action on these new understandings, maybe just from this video, you take action, you're going to get a feedback in your consciousness and going, wow, I entered the cave that I feared and I found a treasure. And I didn't even know it was in there. And now you've got the confidence to go out and do it again and do it again and do it again. And you're filling your cup, you're supporting others around you. That's where real learning and growth, and that's where wisdom is developed. I don't think we have to wait until we're 80, 90 years old to develop wisdom. I work with kids who are involved in our Youth Goal Achievers group who have got a tremendous amount of wisdom because they're applying this material and they're realizing the power of their thoughts and the power of their mind. Anybody can do this. If I can do it, if they can do it, you can do it too.
Yes, exactly. And awesome. So how to thrive? 3 ways. Number 1, study you. Plug into yourself. Number 2, surround yourself by open and like-minded people who are thriving. And number 3, make new experiences and opportunity in your life to change. Because we've all heard before, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing but expecting different results. You gotta switch it up. If your results aren't working for you, if you've been coping for a long time, it's time to switch things up and get into thriving.
Exactly. Remember, the return on nothing is always nothing, right? Invest in you. Put the time in you. It's the best investment you will ever make, and it pays dividends the rest of your life.
So now what we would like to share with you is an exercise. Maybe you're doing it for yourself, or maybe you're working through it with a youth. This is something that I call contrast versus clarity, because as we were talking, if we know what we don't want, we can define what we do want. Neuropsychology tells us we attract what we love, what we hate, and what we fear. The problem is most people, and especially people who are in here, they're focused on what they hate or what they fear or what they're experiencing that they don't want. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a piece of paper and you're going to draw a line down the middle. On one side, you're going to write contrast, number 1 through 10. On the other side, you're going to write clarity. So first, on our side of contrast, and I have an example here from a youth, but on the side of contrast, we're explaining the results we're currently experiencing that's keeping us here that we do not want. So for example, I just want to have a good day. I just want to survive the day, or I'm just making ends meet emotionally. Now go and cross that off on the one side and convert it to clarity. What do I want? So instead of I just want to have a good day, every day has good in it. I just want to survive the day. I enjoy getting up in the mornings. I'm just making ends meet to I am emotionally intelligent. From I feel like I'm never getting ahead to I see the small progressions every day. From I never feel confident in myself to more and more confidence is showing up in my life. From I'm unsure of who I am or why I'm here to I'm discovering who I am and my potential. From success doesn't come easy to me to my success is a journey and I'm experiencing wins every day. And from I'm anxious or I'm struggling to I express who I am, I'm proud of my gifts and talents, and I'm in a process of becoming a confident and productive individual. So really notice where you are and define where you want to go. Now, when we're getting clarity, I want to suggest a couple phrases, and you might want to write this down, but a couple phrases that can help you to gain clarity on what you want. So these 6 phrases are, I'm in the process of, I've decided that, more and more, it excites me, I love the ideal of, or I love seeing myself. So for example, I love seeing myself as a confident individual. Everything's created twice, first in the mind and then in the physical. So we have to create an image in our mind of the good we want. We have to get super clear on what it is we want. If we don't know what it is that we want, we got to write it out in all its fullness of what we don't want, so we can then eliminate them and define it to what we do want.
Beautiful, right? It's these small exercises that create massive wins in our life. And I think so many people are waiting for the next big thing, the next thing that they can do where it's going to be like a massive change in their results if it's just that one thing. And the truth is, it's the small things. It's the small things that add up to make really huge improvements. I often share the example, would you take, if I were paying you for a job, and I said, how would I pay you? I think I shared this with youth once, and I said, I'll pay you $1 million for the job in one payment, or I'll give you a penny a day and double it every day over the next 30 days, right? And you might think, well, that penny is really small, right? And that can't really make a difference. Well, it makes a huge difference, and it amounts to a huge amount of money. And the same is true when it comes to the actions you take. And not just the actions you take, but right down to the small little thoughts that you think, right?
And the words that cause the thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. Do things in a great way. Do the small things in a great way. And you're going to experience a huge improvement, and you're going to move the scale from coping to thriving, right? Just by doing these small things in a great way and in a certain way. It was Wallace Wattles in his book, The Science of Getting Rich, who said, it's not about doing certain things. It's about doing those things in a certain way. right? Do them in a certain way. Do them in a way that inspires you, that motivates you, that raises your vibrational frequency, that you just feel great about yourself and you feel great that you're helping maybe inspire other people in the process, right? See yourself there. See it in your mind, build the picture. We're all image creators. And it's the images that we hold in our mind that ultimately begin to move into form. It was Andrew Carnegie who said, any idea that is held in the mind that's either feared or revered will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available.
So what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on coping or are you focusing on thriving? Are you focusing on the contrast or are you focusing on the clarity of who you want to become? Take time today, do this exercise for yourself and with your youth to experience some change.
Absolutely. Share in the comments below, what's the action that you're going to take today, the small action that's going to begin to move you forward and begin the process of moving from coping to thriving. Share in the comments below, and we look forward to hearing those and reading those. But with that being said, I want you to tap into your uniqueness today. Take action, really understand yourself, empower yourself, expand your mind, and really unleash your potential today. I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day, and we so look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care, everybody.